Hello there, welcome to the race recap, the TED Talks for the penultimate round of W Series 2019. It's the race at Assen, and like all Dutch fans, they're all having it large in the middle here. So the DJ is well, he's doing things, and then we've got some sort of puddle jumpers. I don't know, the guys turning handstands and stuff like that. So the crowd is really getting into it because it's the end of a day where we've had the most bizarre, well, it's not bizarre weather, we've just had a big spread of weather really from a huge rain shower early on. It looked like had those conditions actually gone ahead, we don't think these F3 cars, the W Series cars, would have been able to race because it was torrential, absolutely torrential. But the clouds moved away, the thunderstorms moved away, the rain moved away, and we had a dry race, which this morning, looking at the forecast, looked like we were not going to have. And it was a race won in fantastic style by Emma Kimiläinen. Now, just think about this. Emma Kimiläinen came into the series as one of the title favourites. She had a crash in the first race in Hockenheim with Megan Gilks. And after that, she missed the next few rounds. She was lying in bed for Zolder, for Misano, and she just was not fit to race. And then she's come back, she scored points last time out in Norris Ring, and now she is qualified first and won the race. And so that is just an amazing story, is it not? So I don't think Emma is actually around at the moment. There's Alice Powell, who finished P2 today. In fact, all the top 10, the top 6, I should say, the top 5, finished where they qualified. So Emma Kimiläinen, bit of a hesitant start, but minimised the loss from that. Actually followed, it was Alice Powell who led into the first corner and the first few laps, followed Powell well, took the lead when Alice went wide, and then pulled away. Amazing result to win by 5.7 seconds. And that is as big a margin, a winning margin, as we've had in any of the W Series races so far. Alice Powell qualified P2, had a great start, took the lead from Emma Kimiläinen, held on, but then ran wide, defending, and lost the lead to Emma, and finished in P2. She is here. I don't know how sweet, whether that tastes particularly sweet or whether you're kind of kicking yourself.
If you want some.
Well,
I don't know if there's any wasps in it.
It's okay, no. I mean, when you look at Emma's pace, I don't know what to make of it. When you look at Emma's pace, she seemed more comfortable with the car. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was struggling quite a bit with oversteer. I think maybe I would have been able to keep her behind. I couldn't really see in my mirrors. They were vibrating quite a bit. So I thought that maybe she was a bit further alongside. So I don't know if she was there. So I left enough room and went wide, and that's when she got me. And then because I went wide, those 3 laps afterwards were horrific. It was like driving on ice, but no, after the last 2 rounds, I'm quite happy really to get a podium again, finish the race, and hopefully we can try and get 3rd in the championship, which I thought was kind of written off, to be honest. Yeah. But it's Brands Hatch next, so I like it. So we'll see.
The proper big Brands Hatch circuit as well.
Yeah, exactly. Not that silly little Indy one.
Well, listen, thank you, Alice. Well done. Nice little something for the mantelpiece. Maybe empty it first.
No, there's some in there.
There is quite some. Okay. Well, maybe finish it first. Okay. All right. Excellent. Jamie Chadwick then qualified 3rd and finished 3rd. Good start. Chose the middle of the track when perhaps she might have felt that had she chosen the outside, she might have got Alice Powell, but didn't. Happy in the end to hold off her title contender, Beitske Visser, and extend her championship lead. So that's very solid for Jamie Chadwick, and I think we can see Team Chadwick over here. She's over there talking to some journos over there, so go and have a look. But she goes into Brands Hatch having extended her championship lead. So now surely only something very weird can stop that driver, Jamie Chadwick, taking the W Series championship. Well, we've seen it before, haven't we? But it will be a very tense Brands Hatch in 3 weeks' time for Jamie Chadwick. But she did what she needed to do today. She kept Visser behind her and picked up the points for that. Beitske Visser, it was the start that was what happened. She qualified 4th, but was confident of a good start. It did not happen. Messed up the start, dropped back behind Caitlin Wood, but then managed to overtake the Australian in a nice move and made it into 4th, but just couldn't pressure Jamie into a mistake. So Beitske finished where she started. It wasn't good enough to change the championship order. I think she's kicking herself, but it wasn't the home race that Beitske wanted, but at least it does take it. She is still in contention as we go to the last race. Caitlin Wood, great start, took advantage of Visser's bad start and was running P4 for a while, but then a bit of a lonely race after Beitske Visser took her back. It was for Caitlin, but after that held off Gosia Radest, who was 6th today, and then managed to secure P5. Here is Gosia Radest. Super happy she is. I think she's, well, she has been. She doesn't, I know she doesn't look it, but she's calmed down a bit. But she's super happy with that. Great start and held on, having qualified P9, then ran very well in P6, held off the chargers behind her, Jessica Hawkins behind her, in fact pulled away from Jess Hawkins behind her. Couldn't really close on Caitlin Wood, but still managed to get P6 in the bag. P7 today was actually Jess Hawkins. So great race for, yay, I've put on my little notebook here, yay for Jess Hawkins. Great stuff for her, because that is, believe it or not, her first points in the W Series. I can't really believe it myself, but it is. So Jess Hawkins, who's had a terrible time of it, but really showed at the last race what she could do. Hello. Showed what she could do, you're right, at the last race, and now has delivered on that and has got the points she deserved. So that's the first of some good performances, I can tell, coming for Jess Hawkins. So well done for her. She qualified 11th, but finished P7. Great race, was closing up on Radest towards the end. Tasmin Pepper qualified 6th, but it was a DNF for the South African, was tipped into a spin from behind and had a little bit of damage, well, had a fair bit of damage. Actually, it was the steering that was broken on her car. Have a little tour around, see what you can see, and I'll just go through everybody quite quickly after that. So retired with a DNF with no steering. Fabienne Volvend, absolutely heartbroken. She felt she was quicker than Radest, but was fighting with the Polish driver, went wide and damaged her front wing, had to pit for a new front wing, and was stuck down in P15 after that. Marta Garcia, super disappointed after qualifying, where she couldn't improve her time because of the red flag. She was just missed out by 3 seconds. Had a good start, but was delayed by the Tasmin Pepper Koyama battle and lost places. So she is disappointed, is Marta Garcia. We've done Radest. Sarah Moore qualified 10th and finished P10. And okay, pretty good race, decent start. Closed up ahead, but had understeer. Couldn't really close on the drivers ahead because suffering from understeer in the car, but did finish. Was closing up, but to Marta Garcia was Sarah Moore. Finished 2/10 behind Marta Garcia. Done Jessica Hawkins, who was qualified 11th. Qualified 12th was Vicky Piria. And after an engine blow in qualifying and felt that she wasn't getting the best out of the car, she had nothing to lose. And Vicky Piria is one of the big movers, actually, up from 12th on the grid to P8. So great start. Took advantage of some others not having a good start, and then raced well to P8. Miki Koyama is actually nursing a bit of an injured hand because she was involved in that lap 1 incident. Qualified 13th, very disappointed, was hit the spinning Tasmin Pepper. She thought Pepper was going to go one way, so she chose the other, and then in the end, Pepper came back, so that was disappointing for Koyama. But she's, had a little bit of an injury to her hand, but I'm sure she'll be all right for the non-championship race tomorrow and for Brands Hatch. Sabra Cook, she is just around. She got a drive-through penalty for being out of position, so there's a bit of confusion at the start. Got a drive-through penalty for that, but still managed to finish 1 place higher than her qualifying position, so that's not too bad for Sabra Cook. Esme Hawkey, great race for her, big mover up 4 places from 15th on the grid to 11th. She's a little bit frustrated. She wanted to get into the points, but it was a great effort nonetheless. Wants to take it to Brands Hatch. She wants to finish in the top 12 to get into the W Series by right tomorrow. So that will be good for her if she does that. Schiff, decent race for Naomi Schiff. Qualified P16 but finished P12. So again, up 4 places for Schiff. Came off the track, avoiding the spinners at the start, but then made up 4 places. Megan Gilks, good to have her back racing after she missed the last round because she was replaced. Emma, just before you disappear, congratulations. We're just doing the roundup. I just wanted to, I said at the beginning of this, when you think back to the time that you spent on your couch recuperating after Brands Hatch, and you've come back now, what a great story. You've come back and dominated the weekend. Never mind the weather, never mind that people might have felt that they didn't get their laps together. Sorry, I'm going on, I do that. In qualifying, you got the pole and you dominated that race. Brilliant.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, brilliant. It wasn't the best start, to be honest, but after that, so I knew I had the pace, and I was just learning how Alice is doing and where I'm faster and so on. And then I did a couple of times the mistake to be braking on the same air that she was, and that's actually quite bad. So I needed to, I went for clean air, and then I pushed her for a mistake, and then, yeah, the rest is history.
History! Okay, listen, congratulations.
Thanks.
I'm so glad it's ended up that way.
Me too. It's awesome. It's awesome. Finally, from bottom of the bed to the top of the podium. Great.
Fantastic. We will see you in Brands Hatch in 3 weeks and enjoy the race tomorrow. Just a quick one, Shea Holbrook, we didn't mention, qualified 18th, race finish in 16th, had to pit for a change of nose as well. So that really sums it up. It's the feel-good result of the season, really, from where Emma Kimiläinen was after Hockenheim round 1 to winning here in the penultimate round. So join us, watch the non-championship race. It's a reverse grid race tomorrow. Just check wseries.com and on their social media feed on Twitter to see where you can watch it there. And join us in 3 weeks' time for the last race of the W Series season, Brands Hatch. See you then. Bye-bye.